Hello, and welcome to the Happy Healthy Human podcast. I'm Coach Kara.
And I'm Coach Lauren. On this podcast, we talk about the 5 factors of health, which are movement, nutrition, connection, mindset, rest, and recovery. What are we talking about today, Kara?
Today, we're going to talk about our own experience, about how we have trained through our period. And then we're also going to share some tips on how you can approach that.
I feel like sometimes in different settings, well, I think for like us, we're like, whatever, I'm on my period. But some people are very much like, don't want it. They're like, I'm on my period. You know,
yes.
They whisper about it.
Yes.
So
yeah.
It's kind of fun to yell it.
But I feel like here it's just like, what do you think? I don't get a period? I mean, I don't currently because I am pregnant, but.
Yes. Me too. Get periods. I know. But sometimes women don't talk about it. I find though, female members, I don't know if this happens to you as a female coach, they'll come to me and be like, I'm on my period.
For sure.
This is a struggle.
And typically you know what that means. You're like, okay, great.
Well, I'm like, take your time.
Figure it out.
Do what you need to do.
So I think that what we really want to get at is just like our own experience in training, and especially both of us coming from very athletic backgrounds and what that's been like. Do you have any specific approaches, or does your body run on like a certain cycle where you know, like, okay, I need to dial back or I can push harder this week? Like, how has that been for you?
For sure. Okay, so just a couple basics of me is I have my period every 28 days. If I'm really stressed, it will like skip a week or I'll go ahead a week. I don't know if that makes sense. So that can like throw things off, obviously, because our hormones are going up and down. I am 36 now, and I feel like I'm still figuring out my body when it comes to like my period and my hormones and everything. What's happened throughout the years is I feel like my period's changed with the healthier I get, like taking care of my nutrition or taking care of my training, the easier my period has been when I'm going through like my cycle or my time of the month, I call it. So I find that was really interesting that I used to have like really bad cramps and couldn't train a lot when I wasn't eating as healthy or more anxious. And then the more that I've been training, the easier it's been to have my period and to be able to like get through it and not really like be affected by it. Mm-hmm. So I've just found if like I'm taking care of my health, I'm like, whoa, this is like way easier. Where for some of my friends, they can take care of their health and their period can still be really hard. I feel like I'm just like a little bit on the luckier side with that.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. But what about you?
Yeah, I think the same. I think there was a time where I was like way under eating and I didn't have it for a little while. Yeah. I think it was like a 6 month period that I didn't get it. And I think that was because my like cortisol was extremely high because I was going through like the restrictive binging eating cycle. Yep. And I think that played a big role, and I dropped weight relatively fast. So that made it interesting trying to navigate that. But then once I got it back, and I've been very, very on top of how much food I'm consuming, especially when it comes to like our fats and carbohydrates. That helped me be like, okay, great. I know that every like 26 to 27 days I would get mine. And then I'd use a tracker, which made it even more helpful.
Yes, there's great easy trackers.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, my energy feels so low today. What's going on? Open the tracker and you're like, there's my answer.
Yes. Why do I feel crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to start my period.
But yeah, it's so true. It's just like a lot of the symptoms you have can directly relate to that. And there's obviously other factors like how you slept and what you ate and whatever that day. But I think that it's really telling when you open up your app and you're like, oh my God, that makes so much sense why, back squatting, something that should feel so easy, feels so hard today, or vice versa.
Yeah. A couple of days before my period, this is like clockwork for my body. And it's really figuring out how your body operates and when it feels off. I literally will always feel like I'm going crazy. I'm like, something's wrong with me. And then I'm not getting like great sleep and I'm eating a ton of food, like way more food, probably 1,000 more calories than I usually would for like a day or two. Like I'll have crazy cravings, start my period. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm normal. Like it's my period. That is throwing me off. And then I get re-regulated actually during my period. But coming up to it is when I feel a little bit more off.
100%. And I think that's something that's really interesting. Now, obviously, like, I don't even feel like we need to make this disclaimer, but like everyone has a different cycle. So I'm going to speak on like my experience that the week leading up is actually like my hardest week. Yeah, I feel the weakest. Same. I am the moodiest. I feel like I do want to just eat so many carbohydrates and sweets and that kind of thing. And then when it actually starts, I don't feel like great. Like I experience some low back pain. I have cramping. However, my energy levels shoot through the roof.
Okay, that's the exact same for me. I actually get more energy.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because I do hear some women be like, oh, well, I'm on my period, so I can't train. My experience is that I actually feel better, and I know that I'm going to have a better week of training during that time than the week before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why tracking your period is so important, to be able to just know what's going on and take notes of like, okay, for both of us, it sounds like we're more struggling before. When we start, that's when we know to push. And then listen to your body. There's some days you're just like, I don't feel good. Okay, don't push yourself. Move. There was one of our female members. She's like, I'm on my period today, but I'm gonna show up here. And I was like, just move. Whatever makes you feel good. Like, I'm glad that you're here, because it sounded like she was really having like a rough day. Yeah. So it depends. But yeah, I've found opposite, where it's like I'm actually kind of thriving once my period starts. It's before, or if I'm off a week because of anxiety, I don't feel good. Like, I just feel off. I feel like my lifts are off, all of that.
Yeah, things are not working the way that you want them to. And that's actually something like maybe tip number 1 that we could go into is when I have, like, especially my one-on-one clients where they'll text me and be like, hey, I started my period, I'm not feeling super well. I'll actually encourage them to come in and we'll do like a lighter session and just be like, afterwards, really focus on how do you feel now? Yeah. Because a lot of the time I notice that they feel better after they train, and sometimes the symptoms like cramping subsides. You might feel a little bit more tired just depending what your symptoms are like during it. But overall, the consensus is they feel better after coming in and sweating a little bit.
Yeah. I would say tip number 2 would be that as much as possible, eat like really fresh whole foods before and during your period. I think we use our period as an excuse to be like, I'm going to go all out on chocolate and carbs and all of that. That's actually going to just lead you to feeling more like crap than taking care of your body, getting rest, I hydrate extra during my period. But I also give myself grace, because like sometimes my body is like, you need 3 cookies right now. Like I literally am like, I have to have 3 cookies or I'm not going to survive.
Yeah.
That's
how it feels. No other option.
There's no other option. So I've done that where I'll eat and then I'll say, okay, I just ate all those cookies. I don't need to do that every day. And then I'll go back into taking care of my nutrition.
Yeah. And in terms of nutrition too, like looking for higher iron foods, especially the week before and the week of, would be really important. For example, like red meat, peppers, spinach, like leafy greens. I always encourage my girls that are training and do have pretty rough symptoms during their cycle, or if they feel really tired, we try to amp up their higher iron rich foods, because then they feel a little bit better energy wise going into it. Yeah. I love that.
And then tip 3.
You got anything?
Yeah, of course I do. Always a brewing. Ish, do you like hearing about all this? Anyways. Don't kill anyone. No, joking. Tip 3.
Okay. Tip number 3, focus on your sleep.
Honestly, game changer. The more sleep that you can get, the better it is. Like, because then you'll actually feel a little bit more regulated, because I don't know about you, but my emotions will feel a little unregulated before my period or during. And then I find if I can get sleep, then I can get into the gym. I can think more clearly of like the decisions I'm making towards my health as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I personally just feel more tired during that time. So if I know that it's coming up, I'm gonna be like, great, tonight I need to go to bed 30 minutes to an hour earlier than normal, because I know I'm not going to feel the same as I normally do outside of my actual week of my period. So
I mean, the thing is like the more regular that our period can be, and then us taking care of our health, like the better our body is going to feel. It's like our body is literally like on this cycle. It's called the cycle, where we want to make sure that we're nice and healthy, like going and just not having it. Like you said, if your body is not having a period for a couple months, like check that out, like find a doctor, talk to a coach, somebody, because we want to make sure that our bodies are regulating our hormones correctly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our body can just run like a clock whenever you're really, really taking care of it, which really is what we try to hone in every podcast.
Yeah. So, period. That's it.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. This is the Happy Healthy Human podcast. See you next time.
Bye.